After appropriately forecasting financial statements, finance begins to create a business budget, which will ensure that a company has sufficient resources to operate and grow. A well-constructed budget is crucial for effective financial planning and decision making. By understanding the financial statement, it is easier now to estimate revenues. One begins by reviewing historical revenue figures to identify trends and seasonal variations, and then use sales forecasts to estimate potential income. You also have to analyze external factors like competition, market growth, and economic conditions to adjust revenue estimates. Next, we have to estimate the expenses. And there are fixed costs, variable costs, and semi-variable costs that are considered when estimating these expenses. Fixed costs are recurring expenses that remain the same regardless of the business activity level. Variable costs are expenses that fluctuate based on production and sales volume. Semi-variable costs are some expenses that may have both fixed and variable components, such as salaries with overtime or utility bills that increase with usage. It is important to estimate revenue and expenses to make sure you can identify appropriate capital needs. There are long-term investments and immediate requirements to manage daily operations and upkeep inventory in order for the business to thrive. One must also take into consideration debt. Debt is considered any loans, credit lines, or investor funding needed for short-term or long-term growth. These variables help create the budget structure. Operating budget focuses on revenues and expenses related to day-to-day operation. There are also cash flow budget, which helps monitor the cash inflow and outflow to make sure that the business maintains sufficiently. Capital budget deals with long-term investment and helps in assessing how capital resources will be allocated over time. Man, finance is so essential. The power within the finance and accounting department is unmatched. There are so many requirements that finance must oversee that it's easy to identify why finance plays such a huge role in making sure that the business is heavily reliant on its success. Forecasting is a key element in strategic planning, allowing businesses to anticipate future conditions, make informed decisions, and allocate resources effectively.